economics, statistics, and communication. Intermediate.
Now I request our esteemed speaker, CMA Mallikarjun Gupta, to please grace the dais. I request our chairman to felicitate the speaker.
We have wanted to have another session with Sri Mallikarjun Gupta to deliver the lecture on the GST Appellate Tribunal, on the litigation issues, what is facing being for filing the appeals, so that we all can connect with our issues and then look forward for the resolution. Now coming to GST Appellate Tribunal, we know that it's a specialized statutory body which has been established to hear appeals against orders passed by the GST Appellate or the Revisional Authority. Its primary objective is to provide a uniform, unified and timely dispute resolution mechanism. One nation, one forum. The key objectives was unified dispute resolution, business certainty, citizen-centric governance and reduced judicial burden. There were the core features and structure that's been given is the tiered architecture. This architecture actually has been designed in line with the GST portal by NIC. Unfortunately, because of the start of the portal, the teething problem that's coming up. On that, Mr. Gupta ji will deliver how he has resolved these issues on the personal front while filing the appeals. Then balanced composition. As you all know, appellate tribunals have been, composition is 2 judicial members, 1 Honorable Justice. We have in Telangana Shri Sushil Kumar Mishra Sharma ji, who is a Vice President and also Honorable Justice Judicial Member in GST Appellate Telangana. Then we have Member Judicial Sri A.P. Ravi Garu, and also we have Sri D.K. Srinivas Garu, who is our Chief Guest for the next part of the program. He is also a Member Technical from the department. This is the composition of the GST Appellate Tribunal. Then, the first time this GST Appellate Tribunal has been going on paperless office. Everything will be online. All the submissions, everything has to be filed online only. No paper submissions like the way the courts work. Here we don't have the paperless. And I think the courts also is going into looking into the development of implementing AI. Like the other day, Honorable Chief Justice of India, Suryakanti, said he is working out the procedures to implement artificial intelligence so that he can also look into the paperless courts. We'll see how the development will come in the future. Then reduced pre-deposit. Then specific dispute rostering. This is more important here. As we know, in GST Appellate Tribunal, there are categories that have been given. Certain categories will go directly to the principal bench. Like for example, HSN related disputes or anything. In some other categories like ITC related disputes or the assessment disputes and all, will go to certain state level benches. This is the categorization that's been decided as the GST Appellate Tribunal. Now, I would like to hand over the podium to Sri Mallikarjun Gupta so that we can start talking on the GST Appellate. Thank you.
Pleasure to present a brief profile of Mr. Mallikarjun Gupta ji. CMA B. Mallikarjuna Gupta, BCom ACMA, with over 25 years of extensive experience in taxation, product and brand management, finance, accounting, sales, operations, marketing, project accounting and ERP and BI implementations. His awards and recognitions confirm the Indian Achievers Award 2021 in recognition of outstanding professional achievements and contributions in nature.
We can appeal. Okay, then I have the first appellate authority, right? I have a first appellate authority. Then why not there, why here? Why not there, why here? First appellate authority is there, right? Audit or assessment? Department plus judiciary. So that is why it is very, very important important for us to be at GSTAT. And why CMS? Why CMS? Everybody is a professional today. Why CMS is my fundamental question. It's a huge opportunity for us. Why CMS? Any guess? Why we are the better fit? Let me rephrase the question. Why we are the better fit there? We do costing, right? When you do costing, do you get into the transaction data or not? We get to the transaction data. IDT is a transaction tax or a post-mortem after the financial year. Transaction tax, right? So then we are the best people for that, right? Then we should grab this opportunity. Now, being an IDT person, a cost accountant, it is a double-edged sword for us. Other professional bodies are there. Can they get to the depth of the transaction as we get into? And GST requires tax to be levied at each and every transaction, right? That will cause your compliance issues, adjudication, first appellate authority, then with the tribunals. Then you have high courts and Supreme Court. So, GSTAT, say for example, if there are 100 professionals, 70, 80 will go for compliances. Because 20 that time, one among them.
Costing and legal considerations intersect. We are fortunate here to have an eminent panel comprising experts from the judiciary, taxation, legal, practice, industry and the CMA profession. I am confident that this technical discussion will provide practical perspectives and meaningful takeaways for all of us. Before we proceed further, I would like to express our sincere gratitude to all our distinguished dignitaries for graciously accepting our invitation despite their demanding schedules. Your presence, sir, has made this celebration truly special. Thank you, sirs, and I request all of you to please welcome them with a huge round of applause. Let us continue to learn, adopt and contribute towards building a stronger, more efficient and more transparent tax system for our nation. Thank you. Now I request our chairman, CMA D. Venkatram Babu, to please grace the dais. I request our SIRC chairman, CMA Vijay Kiran Agastya, to please grace the dais. Now I request our Central Council member, Dr. K. C.H. Ejasan Murthy, to please grace the dais. Thank you, sir. Now I request our chief guest, Sri D.K. Srinivas Garu, please grace the dais.
high courts on behalf of the departments and also the buyers. Because of delay in possession and handover, they are paying both EMIs and rent. Everybody are in the loss. And unfortunately, our goal, our government's goal, our nation's goal to reach the 5 trillion economy and 33 trillion economy by 2047, this one is getting a hit. So instead of that, the program has been chalked out, and fortunately or unfortunately, we had a program in the program, so there was a delay. So we apologize for the delay in completing the program. Now, I request all of you to please bear with us, and I hope you all enjoy the discussion, panel discussion later on after our chief guest address. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite our SIRC chairman, CMA Agastya, to please address the gathering.
Thank you, Kirti Gupta. Good evening, dear members. Respected Shri D.K. Srinivas ji, Technical Member GSTAT Telangana. Respected CMA Dr. KCH AVS and Murthy ji, Central Council Member. CMA D. Venkatramababu garu, Chairman of Hyderabad Chapter, and Kirti Gupta, Secretary, and all other committee members from Hyderabad, and my colleague in the Regional Council, the First Lady Chairperson of Hyderabad Chapter, CMA KVN Lavanya garu, all the panelists, eminent panelists who have joined us today. It's wonderful to see you all on a working day. Coming down in the evening was also not so easy, because there will always be a list of pending items that we would like to wrap it up before we close the day. So given that, the participation is really encouraging. First thing, I wanted to congratulate CMA Rambabu garu for conducting such a wonderful session. Great topic. Over the past 1 year, I had the privilege of going across various chapters across South India. There are about 29 chapters across South India. And every time we talk about GST celebration, it's our GST program. So very easy to design a program saying GST, role of cost accountant, GST, issues with the appellate tribunal, or whatever, very generic topics. But he has chosen a very specific, very unique topic. Interplay between RERA, GST, and then the project cost in real estate. While I see the technical capability of Rambabuji is flowing into how the topic has been structured, I am also seeing one naughty element in this. When you bring all these topics together and invite panelists, I do not know what he is expecting as an outcome. I hope you did not have Arnab Goswami inside you when you have designed this topic, but I am very confident that we have a great panel. The other naughty thing that he has done, 5 panelists. So challenging the moderator also. Low bunch panelists, all eminent from the industry, all eminent from the tax background, RERA background, or real estate background, and then saying that okay, do the moderation. But I am very confident. I work with Lavanya for over 10 years now. Very confident that she will be able to take up this challenge ably. I'll reiterate one thing. I think what we will always see, that what is the advantage that members will always see Rambabu garu is, when you have a technical expertise in a certain topic, that will naturally flow into the quality of programs that are conducted. I'm really proud. I'm seeing a very good quality program being organized today at Hyderabad chapter, I think after some time. I will not say after how much time, because there will be multiple interpretations of that timeline, right? Quality of a program, when I say, it is not necessarily how big venue we have chosen, what type of facility is available, or what is the type of food that is being served, right? Or quality of the program is not also how many members attend the program. Quality of program is the quality of discussions that come to the table, and that is where makes me feel proud that we are part of one such wonderful opportunity that is lying in front of us today. So once again, I congratulate Rambabu garu and entire Hyderabad chapter committee members, and as much as you all, I am also looking forward to the Arnab thought process in the program that is going to come up. I am very sure that we all will have great takeaways today. Thank you so much for listening to me.
Your chief guest of the day, and like Pancharatna's 5 panelists here. For the benefit of the chief guest and panelists, sir, these are my beloved cost accountants. So we have got very good experience in stock valuation, stock verification. We are very good at cost right, except finance right, which is mandatory of the CA profession. All things we can do. These most of them are in employment. Grey hair people are in practice, good practice. They can't share what they've done in their company because they're cost accountants. Obviously, like you can't share. Everybody has got a successful story here. Yes. Now coming to this thing is these celebration days. I will just stay here. There are 2016. Then come GST. Both GST reshaped indirect taxation. There shaped the real estate governance. Ultimately, these two have led to buyers' confidence. Next. There are pillars of reform known to you very much, I know, but project tracking, timely adherence, transparency, competitive pricing. Next one. GST, whether sufferers or beneficiaries, they got mandate, reverse mechanism, affordable housing, new word, non-affordable housing, costly house. Now, next. The general factors which do not come under tax, cost, but influence the cost is documentation, overheads, borrowing cost, which normally nobody can sit, and uncertainty, political and everything. Inflation, or now they are calling as latest word is deflation, computer, I don't, FDI, slump or jump. Next. Really great game. R means Rara, G means GST, game means other things. Really great game. Rara, GST, cash flow impact will be there both on the promoter as well as on the customer. Next. These are the numbers I wrote in my PPT. When I went for coffee, my grandson 3 years ago has total all those things. I said, why did you total? They are straight away appearing before me, I total. But that is confusion, meaningless. I said that's what exactly is now happening in the country with reference to RERA and GST. With due regard to all of you, everybody is in confusion. Hence, this statement is made like this. Next, how to play. My friend used a very good word, interplay. Rambabu, very nice. Friends, you should be in the fray or play. To play well, interplay, inner play, outer play, replay, game play, word play, fair play, power play, counter play. Naturally that it happens. Misplay, don't misplay. You can always outplay, don't underplay, don't be too smart to overplay, smart play, never be out of play. Lastly, to me, play means prudent, legal, advice be all of us here, advice be yours. Play means prudent, legal, advice yours. Assuring all my panelists that all my bureau CMAs, we are 1 lakh in number, sir. Hyderabad has got 2,500 number. Out of the 300 in practice, definitely we will be able to live up to your expectations, be it any industry or any campus. Thank you.
PPT that you have shared. Now I invite our chief guest, Sri D.K. Srinivas, technical member, GSTAT, and before I invite chief guest, I invite our MC member Shruti to please introduce the chief guest to the members.
Very good evening to all the dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. It's my privilege as the treasurer of CMA Hyderabad chapter to extend a very warm and heartfelt welcome to Dr. D.K. Srinivas Garu on the occasion of GST Day celebrations. Sir, your remarkable journey is truly inspiring. An outstanding academician with 4 university gold medals, you joined the Indian Revenue Service in 1989. During our distinguished career spanning over 3 decades, you served the nation in key positions across customs, central excise and GST, culminating your retirement as Chief Commissioner of GST Mumbai Zone. Today, as the member of Technical of GST Appellate Tribunal Hyderabad Bench, you continue the service to the nation through dispensation of justice in GST matters is invaluable. Sir, we are deeply honored you by your gracious presence. We welcome you, sir. Thank you.
Distinguished guests and Ayas, Vijay Kiran, Murthy, Rambabu, and equally distinguished guests sitting here, and cost accountants, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I'm sorry I could not come in time because of some other engagement. Because July 1st being GST Day, we have to attend so many things. Second thing is, I was given to understand that Mr. Mallikarjuna has already given a lecture or detailed presentation on how to go about GST. So I was thinking what to talk. Anything specific? I hope you have covered everything, Mallikarjuna?
No, sir, a lot of things is to be covered by you.
Except legal issues.
Yes.
There I am born. So as you are knowing, GST, this is the 9th year rolled out. And I think Finance Minister has surprisingly very quiet on these days. And she has put only one thing in her Instagram today, that is Deloitte report, which highlighted that so many people, more than 80% is happy with GST and MSME sectors, and what is the positive side and what are the future things to be done, or expectations from the trade, all those things. So going by that, one of the things when I gone through is, one of the things, our highest recommended action to be taken by Government of India is creation of GST tribunal. So GST tribunal finally is there. Now it has started. At least in Hyderabad, I can say we started hearing. So up to yesterday, the last date was 30th. 30th June. How much time I got? Because in courts we will say to all the lawyers, be brief, be brief. So the 30th was the last date. So yesterday it was a mad rush of filing, so many things happening, and literally that software teams from GST and NIC were working overnight, and they could do something. And literally last 1 week, the capacity of the system was 6,000 per day, and it reached. And suddenly in 1 month, this June month, it was more than 20,000 appeals were filed, and finally touching 50,000 yesterday. And in Hyderabad, it is touching 2,000. But we were expecting more. Hope so, it will come. And coming back to basics, I think all of you are cost accountants working, and somewhere you are touching GST also, I hope. If you are not touching also, but GST will touch you in all walks of life. Don't worry about it. It's right from your toothpaste to your luxury car, everywhere it will touch. The indirect tax, it is pervasive. They say no. Directly, it is like a pickpocket. Indirect taxes, sarcastically they come, and it is a pickpocket time. It will be taken out of your job, your pocket without your knowledge. Unlike direct taxes. So this appellate tribunal is demanded by many forums in across the various industries for the simple reason that speed, lower cost, accessibility. These are the things, because especially big companies can handle the legal costs because they got the wherewithal, whereas middle and small sectors is a problem. One. Second, speed. Today when I was talking to Chief Justice of Telangana High Court, Mr. Singh, he was saying the same thing. Saying that in a High Court, in a simple case also, unless very rare occasions, it takes 6 months. So Srinivas, you should do it within 2 to 3 months. I said, sir, we are already started doing it. That depends on many things. As I said, accessibility, speed, as well as cost. Speed in the sense, now what we have done is with the experience of various tribunals. In this case, GST tribunal we have formulated in such a fashion, in the statute itself we have fixed the things, as well as the rules. That is, in rectification application within 30 days, cross objections 45 days, like that. In addition to it, we imposed conditions on ourselves also. That is, if we hear, final hearing is over, I had to pass the order within 30 days. I can't sit over it. And as it is, wherever appeals are filed, the word was initially shall be decided within 1 year, but it was changed to may now, because may means MAY. For the simple reason not to give too much liberty to us, but because of the volume of the appeals pending, it may not be possible. So shortly we will change that. So speed wise, we are targeting procedures as well as timelines that are going to be fixed for us also. At the same time, because GStat is open, unlike High Court, it is open to all concerned, whether it is a chartered accountant, cost accountant, or company secretary, or consultant, anybody can practice there. Depending, once only the two conditions are there. One is he should be a member of the association, and he should not have any criminal or insolvency cases. On lighter way. The second is accessibility. So we have made this GStat from day one, it is going to be paperless. Everything is online. So I think Mallikarjuna might have explained what all the difficulties he faced or his friends faced while filing. So that is happening because in India the problem is we create a common platform or a common taxation system which cuts across various industries or various businesses. And peculiarity there is each business has got its own culture and practices. To cover up all these things is sometimes a Herculean task for us. But we try to do. In that process the mistakes will be committed, some will be affected. It is a continuous process because taxation is a dynamic. So we are doing it. So in this case accessibility, it is an electronic platform 24/7 available. You can open, register yourselves. Because up to yesterday when I saw that one, more than 35,000 people are registered. Out of that one, 9,000 are professionals. That is includes CVS, CMS, advocates, all these things. So it is picking up and problems are being sorted out one by one. Otherwise 50,000 appeals cannot be filed or 20,000 cannot be filed in a week. So slowly we are setting. And third thing is how better the conducting of the hearings we have to do. That depends on the people who are representing parties as well as departments. So there we are already state government as well as central government, CBIC people who have talked, their authorized representatives are already came to us, they collected the documents and everything. And we are expecting the parties' cooperation in this regard. Unless the bar, we call them all the advocates, chartered accountant, cost accounts, we call them bar. So unless until you people put forth effectively like a typical effective advocacy, that means preparing the appeals in a proper form and bringing the facts to the notice of the members, it will help us to pass the orders as early as possible. Don't ask for adjournments. This is the one we expect. Because unless the speed cannot be delivered, because our hand, we are powerful in one way, but at the same time the power also hits us in different fashion, like a weak points. I cannot decide a case without hearing. So the lawyer, if you don't come, what can I do? So case gets delayed. So like forum shopping, all these things should be avoided. So that type of cooperation we expect from bar. Coming to these challenges, first challenge we are going to face is volume. As I said, it is 9th year, so volumes are coming. And shortly, whatever today, as per my discussion with the High Court Chief Justice, is whatever is pending, except where legal matters, legal issues are involved, he will try to transfer it back to us. Why he said that one is, GSTAT, I think you have explained, no? Mallikarjuna, what is GSTAT, second appellate authority?
Yeah, that I have explained.
So from GSTAT, appeal goes to High Court and Supreme Court. But one thing you should not miss out, because some of you may be preparing the appeals and all those things. The last fact-finding body, because in any issue, any appeal or anything, there are two issues. One is fact, that is fact, matrix of facts. What is the factual position? What actually happened? What is the product name? Or what is the service given? These are facts. Second is legal issue. What is the legal term, legal complications that are going to be involved? What are the sections? What are the rules? So, whereas the GSTAT is the last stage appellate authority where both issues will be seen and equally heard. Because after GSTAT, if you go to High Court or Supreme Court, they will see only substantial question of law only. They don't seem to factor. They will say facts are as reiterated by GSTAT will help. So this I am just reiterating to help you out when you are, if at all you are yourself filing appeal or you are helping others to file appeal. So this type of challenges are there. One is the volume. Volume, we are planning something. Most probably we will be able to. So must successfully, as I said, it is an electronic platform. So we have to pass the orders. So yesterday's situation was very peculiar to us. Because trade was saying to us, sir, this is a problem in electronic, we are unable to platform, we are unable to file, this is a glitch also. Yesterday I completed a hearing and I passed order. But I also got hit by glitch because the digital signature is not working. I had to sit back and yesterday, about 7:30 I could sign it. So sometimes this happens, but that we take is as a challenge to overcome the systems and improve the systems. So, like that, we are planning many things to dispose of as much as possible, like clubbing similar issues, so that we can hear. That is, the second thing is, as I said, cooperation from the bar is also required. Third thing is, it is going to be completely paperless and online platform. Though we have taken as much precautions as possible and help desk, e-manuals, videos, everything is provided on the system. But still some glitches are coming. How far or how fast we can complete it, or able to rectify the things properly, so that seamless 24/7 works. These are the three challenges I am foreseeing and we are working on it. And coming to Murthy Garu, I said say something about the RERA. I said RERA, everything is legal issue. I can't speak on legal issues. So basically coming to RERA or real estate or any industry, the most contested issue as on today when I gone through the appeals, I have gone through around about 200 appeals which are filed. Majority are ITC related, input tax credit. Because the classification and this one valuation are not as much as used to be. And with the rates merging, now reducing it to 2 except SIM goods. So classification issue is not coming forth. So basic issue is refunds and ITCs as well as fake invoices. So refunds issue may not be there in real estate much, but other two are rampant. So, and we are working on it, so I can't say what is the issue. But at the same time, because the biggest challenge everybody facing and contesting is legal fraternity is also section 16. Am I correct? Correct. Sure? Yeah. 16. So you can 16. Sir, all there. Everything is contested, which concerns this. But there is slowly we are coming, and also a third challenge, I think I forgot. Fourth challenge, when you remember this 16, I remember is, we are going to face is ambiguity or disunity among the orders passed by various judicial. Because most of you might have seen some different high courts. In the absence of GST, various high courts have taken up, and they have taken a writ jurisdiction. Because writ is a different thing. They go by legal this one rather than by facts of the case. Whereas now with the GStat, it is the whole indirect disputes is shifted to a fact-finding solution along with law as well as facts. So, coming to this type of issues which are being contested, ITCs or anything, different high courts have passed different judgments. So it creates ambiguity not only in the assessees, including us also. So I am worried because when we had an internal discussion also with President, we worked out a thing, saying that one same thing can happen with the different GStat tribunals, because GStat tribunal is going to be one for each state. So they may pass different to this one. So we were thinking, that's why now if you see the peculiarity, I hope you told Malika about principal bench function.
No, sir.
So this is actually two-tied GStat. Totally there are 32 benches are there. One is principal bench which sits in Delhi. Remaining 31 are different states covering all over India. This principal bench is headed by retired Chief Justice of some High Court and technical member also. So there the jurisdiction includes, one is place of supply. All place of supply issues will go to principal bench only, not to any state bench. That means any issue, suppose you are filing an issue which covers 2-3 aspects also. If place of supply is one of the issue, it goes, you have to choose, because in the GStat portal, the option will be given to which bench. So you have to choose principal bench. And other this one, ODIR, ISD, input tax distributors, another one is anti-profiteering. These are the things. But when there is one thing extraordinary, this is statutorily they are entitled to hear these things. But of late, because we worked out to prevent different forums issuing different interpretations, so there is now a provision was created for principal bench, where issues or similar issues have been facing in different states, and there is a possibility of previous judgments differing with each other, or high court judgments differing with each other, that can be referred directly to principal bench. So that is only for the purpose of bringing uniformity for judicial interpretation. Because what assess wants, less cost, less headache, more time for their business. So this, we thought this will help them, so that principal bench once for all it decides, and it is binding over the country like Supreme Court. So that is these are the different thoughts we are trying to implement, or actions we are trying to implement to improve this. And I expect your association to help us to bring forth what are the difficulties, still anything is there. We will try to sort it, and we will try to dispose of as early as possible. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, sir. So, sir has addressed all the challenges that we are facing, and I'm glad that these are being worked upon by the department. Thank you for the assurance, sir. Now, we will be moving upon the panel discussion. So, for that, I will be inviting all the panelists and moderator. First, I would like to invite our moderator of the panel. So I request our dignitaries to please proceed so that we can start the panel discussion. Welcome her with a huge round of applause. I would like to invite our MC member Hima ma'am to introduce our next panelist.
Good evening all. It's my privilege to introduce a distinguished legal professional whose career reflects excellence, integrity and dedicated services to the nation. Advocate Y.N. Vivekananda is currently serving as Senior Standing Counsel for the Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs, Senior Standing Counsel for the Income Tax Department and Senior Standing Counsel for the Directorate of Revenue Intelligence before the High Court of Andhra Pradesh. His expertise and reputation have also been earned him the honor of being appointed as the member of the Indian Law Reports Committee constituted by the Honorable Chief Justice of Andhra Pradesh High Court, contributing to the publication of landmark judicial decisions. And he has also been appointed as panel counsel representing the Honorable High Court of the Andhra Pradesh and the District Judiciary in important judicial matters. Previously, he served with the distinction as Government Pleader attached to the Learned Advocate General of Andhra Pradesh and as Special Public Prosecutor for the APCID Economic Offences Wing, where he handled several high-profile and complex cases. During the same period, he also held additional charge as Government Pleader of Commercial Taxes, demonstrating his vast experience in taxation and constitutional law. And lot Mary to say, I think the time is low, so we are just briefing his expertise, and his remarkable journey reflects years of dedication service, deep legal knowledge and an unwavering commitment to justice. And friends, please join me in extending a warm welcome, heartfelt welcome to Advocate Y.N. Vivekananda. We are truly honored, sir, to have you here today.
Thank you, ma'am. I request our CMA staff member who is senior most, Kavita ma'am, to please introduce our next panel.
Good evening, dignitaries. I'm glad to introduce Gandhi sir. He is an advocate practicing at High Court of Telangana, specialization in indirect taxation, customs, enforcement and commercial law. He holds a master's degrees in international business law from the National University of Singapore and postgraduate diplomas in alternative dispute resolution and business administration. He currently serves as Senior Standing Counsel of the Central Board of Indirect Taxes, Customs and Directorate General of GST Intelligence. Thank you, sir. We welcome you.
Thank you, ma'am, and thank you, sir. Now I need.
Happy GST Day to all the participants. We have, I think we have Panchabhutalu on the stage, right? All strong pillars, and we have Shet Chakravartuli also including our chief guest. So welcome all to this panel discussion. Thank you for giving me this opportunity of moderating the session. I think we all know we are extended arms of the government, right? So we think in the lines of the government. Of course, in the topic that has been chosen, there are several litigations. So I have a couple of questions. In fact, we had prepared a larger list of questions. So I will crunch my questions. We'll take 2 questions per panelist and request you to be brief. I think 3 minutes per question. That's how we'll try to structure.
Per question or answering?
I mean per answer. So that we'll have some time for interaction. We can take some 3 questions from the participants again. Right? Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So I now first go with Vivekananda. So where are the maximum legal conflicts today, and what mistakes people make in JDA agreements by drafting?
Very good evening to all of you. See, after perusing the title of today's evening, interplay between RERA and GST, I was also under the impression that it's a bit naughty or mischievous. And my fears are confirmed with Mr. Agastya's statement.
Yes.
And the intentions of the now newly appointed president.
Chairman.
Chairman, sorry. So, be that as it may, since the question is with regard to legal conflicts arising today, let me start off by quoting Mr. M.V. Durga Prasad, a very eminent senior counsel and an expert in real estate law. In his book, he has stated the controls are multiple, the laws are innumerable, and the result is anarchy. So, if that is the theme of this meeting, since I am a counsel born along with the GST Act, because my first appointment to the GST board was in 2017, I will only, but then once there is no overlap, what is the situation prevailing is the next question that we are faced with. So the answer, straight answer to that is, they are complementing each other, and GST being the later enactment, he is taking lot of cues by way of definitions and importing of concepts to give effect to its own vision. Ultimately, both the enactments are born with a vision which they seek to achieve. So in that regard, while RERA seeks to regulate, and if I may put it this way, that it's a bit more terse, GST is only a taxation enactment. It's only, I'm of the view that it's only taking advantage of an opportunity that has presented itself to the enactment. In as much as it is importing the definitions, it is importing the situations where you can tax. Like they say, in earlier days during the Mughal era, there was tax for shaving, there was tax for this and all that. So in that manner of speaking, they have only visualized situations where, like Sir Srinivas sir has just very aptly and rightly put it, they are like pickpockets, no doubt, but then they are pickpockets with a mission for the thing that one way to you, and then you will have to work your way around, and you will have to adapt yourself to that difficulty. Taxation law also in many ways is like that. People may say, why do we need to pay? That's the common perception that is glorified by the movies also. Because no person, however hardworking, however honest he may be, every person feels the pinch as to why I am earning. And probably there is also perception that there is no compensation to be in my hour of need from the government side. Why should I pay is the question. The answer is writ large. Why should you pay is written down in the...
No, I think we will come down.
Yeah,
Join us, sir.
You can here. Sir, you will be great interpretation. Please join this set. Either.
Thank you, I should say.
Thank you so much, sir.
Become viable only when the overall costing is taken into account. So that's how we monitor.
Great, sir. We understood how it goes. So I think RERA cost is around 150 to 300 rupees per square feet, and I think that's a huge number. Now, like next, could we go to Sridhar Reddy Garu? So what do you think is tougher? Is RERA tougher, GST tougher, funding is tougher, or the market constraints? What is more tougher?
Yeah, first of all, thanks for ICMA for inviting us and having this session. And for us, frankly speaking, GST is not an issue at all. 2017, in these 11,000 projects, so far we have 2,864 cases registered, out of which 1,800 cases are already disposed of. There are only 9 fines out of the entire 11,000 projects so far registered. Only 9 were defaulted. And I'll tell you, before RERA also, RERA came into existence because of those larger states where funds were very easily available, those companies diverted the funds. Suddenly the bank collapse happened in 2010, 11, 12. We saw the financial collapse. So for that, these companies couldn't mobilize the funding. Whatever sanctions were given to them, that was cancelled. So RERA came into place. We welcome RERA, there is no doubt about it. But after RERA in 2017, Government of India started a fund called Swami Fund. They have deployed 1 lakh crores to take up the projects which have been stalled. There was only one project in Telangana, entire Telangana, there was only one project which has been qualified in the Swami Fund. See, look at the system. I mean, we are very, developers of Telangana are very disciplined, we are not so greedy. This, I wanted to tell you, because just now you said in your opening remarks there are so many cases and all, so I thought I'll tell you. And GST now, GST is no issue at all for us now. RERA, yes, there are compliances, but day by day, everyone is looking at businessman as a thief. We are doing everything, whatever is required as per the law, but still, Prakash Challa sir cheppinattu, all the costs we are paying, and we will definitely burden it to the purchaser only. There is no government department which has been challenged there. We complete our project in time, but to get a electricity permission or water connection, whatever other connections, it's going to be, taking a lot of time, for which again the developer is a burden. In spite of whatever money he collects, he borrow, whatever he do, he'll spend in the project. If these departments delay for the connections, then consumer goes to court, RERA. As if the developer has taken away money, they will ask him to pay the rental. So if he doesn't consent, I agree, he has to pay. But the project is completed. In spite of all these things, now even those things we can manage, we are getting through it. The main problem is funding, and the consumers' approach towards the projects is changing rapidly. During till 2019, before COVID, there were moderate sales for all moderate apartments, all was fine. After COVID, during the COVID period, we thought it is very difficult to sell because we don't know what is going to happen. Then suddenly the situation changed. You'll have a job tomorrow or not. So even the Prime Minister of India came and said, be careful. So all these things are little some worried. But regulatory point of view, all the developers, 99% of developers will follow the regulation. These 9 cases also, what have been defaulted in Telangana, all of them are pre-sale, first time developers. Lot of money which your savings for future, which is going to be secured for you in future. So don't get into those pre-sale, without permission, without getting the RERA, all those things, don't get into those things. I'll only caution the purchasers, and please, because you are the torch bearers for the society, if you say, things will move in a different way. If we say, "Arey, vyaparam kosam cheptunnadu," but if you say, it will go in, yes, he's my financial advisor, so I have to listen to him. So let us not compare an apple with apple, not with an orange or So our area though, just you also can calculate what is the land price, what will be the construction cost. He is selling it with less than his construction cost. How can he give it? What, when you wanted to buy, you will say, think, array, it is hidden, his headache. He is giving me, I am buying it. So, personally, I feel funding is one of the challenges now. Regulatory, not an issue. But there are a lot of things which have to be, like GST. They have amended so many in last 9 years. But there are not much of amendments in RERA. Now they have to do. I feel it's time for RERA to look into.
The child is actually working. That's great. So I think one important clue that he said is there is funding issues. I think funding is one point of area where practitioners could also focus. Great, sir. Thank you so much, Sridhar. Now let's go to Dominic G. So how are courts balancing the interest of home buyers, developers and the government? So how is the angle working? So is it that one judgment goes favorable in one person, the next and the next? Is it a round robin or how is it actually going?
I was hoping that the one question you wouldn't ask me out of the four. Because that question is very general. First, I wanted to say that in fact, Rambam Garu, first time, it's a pleasure to sit with all the distinguished guests on the dais, so I'm grateful for the opportunity. Secondly, I did not send my profile though you had asked me, but in hindsight I regret it. So I'm also the public special PP for ED and DRI and DGGN. The reason I'm saying that now is when I come in this kind of a gathering, I realize how much I don't know. So I'm making that as an excuse that my area of expertise is also in other places. With balancing the courts, look, madam, it's like this. I mean, that question is so general. I can give examples of, because all the other questions also I had made some notes, but the court always looks on two ends. One is balancing the interest of the taxpayer. For example, when you have and not so much with home buyers and RERA, etc. The one question, I think Rule 43 and 42, the interplay between GST and RERA, we find that the definitions of RERA have been adopted in the GST Act. So it makes it a little easier when you are deciding GST cases, particularly in the home buyer, that real estate, promoter, etc. The definitions are all in the RERA Act, pretty less. So even though you have provisions of the Act like Section 107 which have tight timelines to file an appeal, you will find particularly in a writ court it will always grant you liberty to file an appeal for whatever reason you have delayed. Particularly in the construction field, I can cite the Safari retreat judgment where now the courts have, while upholding the validity of Section 17(5) C and D, it has also at the same time given some play for the industry, the adjudicating authority. I think that inasmuch as the practitioners feel that the department probably has a prejudiced mind, even then at some point you will reach the tribunal. Tribunal also you can show blocked ITC. Therefore in those judgments the court has given some room. It is left some, I think Safari Retreats has given both, some to the government, some to the taxpayer as well. So in that way the court is always trying to protect both interests. Particularly as we go to the higher courts like the High Court and the Supreme Court. I was just reading now because like I said, I don't consider myself an expert. So frantically this afternoon when I was sitting in the GST day and just before I was trying to do some reading, I see there's a judgment of Munjal, Gujarat High Court. Quite bold judgment by the High Court. And I'm sure you all, all these cost accountants, everyone might have thrown a party on that day. The judgment went on to say that though the value of land is 1/3, it's not, see, we have reactions as well. It is not 1/3. Sometimes the land value will be a much higher, and therefore in appropriate cases, if the land value is much higher, the portion of value of land has to be increased to match the actual land value, and therefore then your tax that you would pay on construction service would reduce. because the overall value of the demand itself would be less. Not undervaluation, but it's increase the land value. So let's assume the land value goes to 50% of the overall value of the sale. Then your tax reduces. So there are several such instances where the courts have come to the rescue, both of the taxpayers and here the construction industry, the developers, the home buyers, and in some instances, with exception to Manjulal, I am told that all the advanced ruling authorities have passed orders saying no, it is one-third of the value, because that is what notification 11 of 17 says. But the judgment in Munjal had said that this is not coming from the Act and a notification cannot go beyond the Act. But I am told also that is now in appeal in the Supreme Court. So while the practitioners will keep, on the private side, will keep their fingers crossed this way, the revenue will certainly, if nothing else, it will amend the Act and make it more clear. So one way or the other, but that way the court, I think, the court is always balancing the interest of both parties. And I've seen multiple judgments, and both, even Sri Vivekananda will tell you that every day he challenges, because the fight we have is very often with the bench trying to say that no, you should not intervene. The court is always locally balancing the interest of all sides.
On a lighter note, if I can just add, the success of each standing council is given in percentages. So if you have a success rate of about 20%, you are a very successful standing council, according to the department. So the courts, like my friend has put it rightly, are always inclined towards seeing what is the problem being faced by the taxpayer or the person who has come to the court and how they can resolve it. How much of a technical argument we may come forward with, or a procedural argument which we may come forward with, the court will just brush it aside and then still try to give the relief. So that way, unless it's a very overarching legal principle where the court might have got it wrong somewhere, otherwise the courts are always in favor of the litigants. And in those very rare scenarios, like my friend put it, the government always has the ace up its sleeve, where they'll come up with an amendment, overrule the judgment, and then still bulldoze them.
Like they did in Safari.
I think that's in fact adding to a lot of confusion. What are the common mistakes that you see in GST audits of previous facts?
No, see, that's the biggest pain point. First of all, it's a pleasure addressing you. I have a very long association with CMA chapter. Very brief, lovely, but it's a long association, and this is the second time I am coming here, and my first program was in association with CMA, so in the same model. So it's a pleasure and honor, and I thank the CMA Institute for having me here. So, madam, I think that's the biggest pain point, and I've been seeing the CREDI, the other association, Narenco, and other real estate players. Since beginning, they have been repeatedly requesting to go back to 12% erstwhile rate. So they have been repeatedly requesting to take them back to the erstwhile 12% rate. Why? Because in the current, so therefore their hands are tied up big time since this 5% regime came into picture. And unfortunately, the thing about real estate, except for the bigger branded developers, all other developers, they are all bound by the market rates. So once the market rate is capped, so they have to adjust every cost within that market rate. You understand? So all these raw material costs, labor costs, and including this GST cost. So the market rate is fixed, and now the costs are increasing, including the tax burden. So therefore what happens, there is a tremendous pressure on the margins of the developers. And they have been repeatedly, I've been part of those forums. They have expressed this anguish before the policy experts, before everyone. But unfortunately, till now, this 5% regime continues to be there, and till that time the input is not available to them, and it is definitely a cost burden on developer. And what was the second question?
So, what kind of observations are you seeing? Common GST mistakes?
Yeah, so with respect to common GST mistakes in real estate sector particularly, the developers have missed the payment of GST on landlord's portion. That is very, very, very prominent. In fact, one of my senior chartered accountant who is out of practice and who is doing, his son is doing real estate, I am surprised to see about 2 months back he got notice from anti-evasion department, and the issue is they have not paid GST on the landlord's portion. So that is one of the biggest issue. And of course, in case of mixed real estate projects, not allocating properly the proportion, what is commercial, what is residential, because up to 15%, if there is a commercial portion, it is still residential, so 5% would apply. Now, if the proportion is not calculated properly, then what happens, instead of 5% or instead of 12%, vice versa, they will end up paying a wrong GST, and ultimately it will be a burden on them. And of course, there are common issues, like, and particularly in real estate also, as I said, in your P&L, up to 80% cost, the GST burden they have to bear. And to understand this cost, to calculate this GST, they have to draw up the P&L, they have to meticulously understand the procurements, and whether they are purchasing from unregistered taxpayer or unregistered taxpayer, and if they have paid the GST or not. So maintaining all these books, this is also an issue with them. And of course, payment under RCM is another issue, and there are common issues as well. So by and large, for real estate, the most important thing has been they have missed payment on landlord's portion. Thank you.
Can I add Shah for this? Yes, developers, most of them, even myself, we have lot of confusion about landlord share. Day before yesterday, I think, 3 days back, there is another judgment from Ahmedabad High Court or something regarding landlord share. One judgment says you doesn't have to pay. Other circular says no, you have to pay under TDR. There are n number of confusions. Apart from that, I'll tell you my experience. I have completed a project. I have written to my landlord saying that you have to pay the GST for your portion. He has sent me 18 pages replies quoting all these judgments. Then I kept quiet. Then finally one day department sent me a notice of 36 pages. Then I sent the same, along with that, I sent it to my landlord. 98 pages he has sent me the reply. For each and every quote, whatever the department has given, for each page, he has given me 3 different judgments. End of the day, I have to fight with the department, and finally, it got resolved after 8 years.
So you
Just
have
very recently.
No, finally you have paid or not?
No.
This is greater. This is not great.
The department is taking the different views in different projects. In other project I paid. In other project on behalf of the landlord I paid. But in one of the projects I didn't pay because the demand was wrong. See, sir, sorry madam, I wanted to tell on this platform, just like a person going to court, if he is going to court for a wrong cause or without any this thing, there should be some fine. Same way, there should be some fine even in legal this thing. Otherwise, what is happening? Everyone with a blank paper is going to the court and he is stalling the projects. And that pressure, what kind of pressure the developers are facing, no one can imagine. Because he has got the purchaser pressure is there, landlord pressure will be there. and material costs are increasing day by day. If you don't complete the project within timelines, the developer is not going to make any money. Forget about, Ishad sir said they're cutting their margins. There is no margin in notices. How many are penalizing? Tax. If out of that 500%, see, there should be somewhere, everybody should be accountable. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. In fact, I just wanted to ask you the same thing. So, if it was one suggestion for ease of doing business, what would it be? And I think you already answered it. Thank you, sir. So, we'll ask Prakash Shallagaru. Sir, how do you sustain your margins? You have cost pressure, customer pressure, project overrun, all that stuff. How did you manage to, sustain your margins?
Honestly, there are no margins now. That's what everybody thinks, that actually we are making a lot of money, okay? But that's a myth. On plan, when we start, we see these are the things, okay, this is how it's going to happen. But there are so many unseen things which are happening today. Like Sridhar Garu has been telling. We don't mind paying taxes. Please realize that real estate developers pay taxes. In fact, we are literally doing the department's GST as well as income tax department. We are the second office. We do TCS, we do TDS.
Continue. Please continue.
So, what happens is, there is no tax consistency. So you believe that, okay, there is a tax regime is going to be dismissed in 2025. Imagine how much of pressure is there. You have to make a provision. Every time auditors keep telling that, no, you have to provide 16 crores. There is a demand from the department. And they started talking about it because they made an amendment about 2 years ago saying that either you pay, otherwise you have to pay with interest on the back date. But we won the case. In fact, we really thanked, we were very clear about it. Vaidishwar and company, they are our auditors and they are our tax advisors. And they said, no, we are not going to pay anything on the landlord's share. See, landlord, the JDA is the most confused product which the department is taking, right from the service tax regime. From service tax regime onward, then you migrated into GST. GST again, you have multiple things. 2017 GST, all the landlords were supposed to be also registered, get a GSTR number. Then thanks to their influence, in 2019, they put it back on the developer and an RCM. And they're very clever. They said that when the press note number 2, I think 3 or 4 of 2019, when it first introduced in April, they talked about that all unsold units, unsold inventory has to be, first and foremost, the entire myth of GST on a building itself is rubbish, honestly speaking. I mean, like, sir, actually I'm addressing this to Mr. Vivekananda and Dominic. Because the reason is they are representing the department. Unfortunately, Mr. Srinivas is not there. I thought I should bring it to your notice because you have to look at it, your lawyers. You should also look at it whether there is a tax being collected, whether it is reasonable, whether it is justified. Unjustified tax is being collected. If I can reel out for 2 hours on what exactly is happening on the GST regime. Because last several years we have been talking, you raised about 17.5D, about safari retreats. 1st July, the notification came, 2017. 6th July, I was then Mr. Hanspo Kadia, the Revenue Secretary, 4 of us. We went and gave the representation, said, how did you? No, this is a mistake. These are his words. This is a mistake. We are going to rectify it. I asked him, when are you going to send the notification? Are you just come now? I said, no, before we came, you just realized that every day you are issuing a notification. Now we'll send it. That evening we had a meeting with the then Housing Minister, Mr. Venkayaji, our credit delegation, about 4 of us were there. And we raised the same issue. They said, same guy from GST had come there. He said that, no, morning, Mr. Hanspo Kadia has confirmed that it will be done. I told Mr. Venkayaji, Anna, they will not do it. Then he specifically told them, no, my friend is saying like, no, sir, it was agreed, it will be done. 2 years we ran around. They didn't do anything. 2018, we had 3 workshops with GST at Delhi. And after we said that we don't want this 1 day, 1 hour, 2 hour meetings. We want to have a proper workshop. We are 5 of us. We had about close to 16 hours of workshop spread over 5 days with about a team of 10-12 people. They agreed for everything. They said 17.5D we can't do anything, but we'll give you some other credit somewhere else. We said specify how we will do it. They didn't do it. Then they go back, and subsequently in October I get a phone call from one of our president of Pradesh saying that I'm calling from outside PMO office. Everything has been agreed, but you agree for this 5%. I said, no, this is going to lose. It's a big lose-lose for us. All projects of 6,750 and 7,000 rupees a square foot, we end up losing 350 rupees to 500 rupees a square foot. We said 80% of the projects in the country, all the buyers will get affected. Today we are paying, the buyers are paying. Subsequently, we came out with a dual rate. The then FM said that, okay, what do you do for the existing projects? We said, then we suggested a dual rate. We said, okay, continue the dual rate. In a way, the dual rate will work very good. Because there is in a city, you take Hyderabad. In Kokapet area and all that, there will be about 10,000, 15,000 rupees a square foot. The 5% rate works out better without input rate.
It was optional.
Yeah.
You could opt in or opt out.
Opt out. It was there for the old projects.
For all projects.
All projects started prior to 2019, 31st March.
April.
From 1st April. So after 1st April, you can complete it. Suppose if you are doing a project, up till the completion of that project, very large project we completed in 24. We could use that same thing, and the department gave us that. But here what happened? Now this joint development agreement with the landowners, that's a challenge which is happening. How you have said that you come out with any unsold unit, you will have to pay GST. Why should we pay under RCM? And after giving under paying under RCM also, I won't get any input rate. I mean, you are taxing me again and again. There is dishonesty. We have to be very clear that why the government cannot enrich itself at the cost of the developer.
On the unsold unit, you will not have to pay construction service tax.
Construction service tax is not there, sir. See, I have completed the project, no.
Correct. So, understanding of that.
In fact, I'll tell you, Mr. Dominic, even the construction service tax, I've been objecting for that right from the beginning from us. No. The reason is, we have built one project on building. The building has suffered tax, GST has been paid already on it, and the entire construction of the building. So where is this myth of a developer, a buyer paying again on this? Where is the myth of this construction services coming into the picture?
Sir, so it's like this, it is not, I'm not defending it,
No.
I'm just trying to explain how it is looked at from the department. It's, there are two distinct taxes. Your construction service, which you're saying you have already paid tax, had you not sold any flats prior to completion of the construction, you would have only been liable then to pay the TDR, right? On unsold flats, correct? If you sell your flats while constructing, then you're liable to pay construction service, right? So you're liable to pay it. Then this notification says that any unsold flats, it obviously means in the unsold flats you have not paid construction service, right? That is the set off for TDR. So there must be some logic.
There's no logic, sir.
Because I understand from the trade how you look at it. But from the department, if I were to argue it for them, I would say that you are missing, you're not paying tax there, so they've tried to cover it. I know end of the day you're paying tax either way.
Exactly what I am saying, that for the project project has already suffered tax. Why?
Would it have suffered had you not sold the flat before
Yeah,
completion?
because GST has been paid.
If you did not sell it, you would not have to pay.
Irrespective of it, whether I sell it or not, I keep it for myself. The 1750 is coming there now again. In a different manner.
You lose inputs.
Exactly.
You lose inputs, but you don't pay construction service.
Yeah.
There is no input now, sir.
There is no input of it now. Now today I don't have input. That's what my problem is. I don't have any input. I'm stuck with input. Now.
The argument there is, though I don't agree with it personally, I'm just saying because when you're saying that 5% it was brought down, it's called the concessional rate. So the moment it's a concessional rate, as you are far.
They talked about it, that you don't have to maintain records and all that, blah, 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 blah.
And also you lose your
I lose my ITC completely.
So that's a trade-off again because they reduced the 5%.
Exactly. So the very law part of it, when the GST amendment came in itself, and GST amendment 2 has to come in now, where you have to talk about creating this input getting blocked. So you have in the parliament itself, when they applause the act saying that input is, the Supreme Court also I think has given a judgment that input is not a right. They can do whatever they want to do. But here we are suffering.
There's only one logic that will dominate. The logic is grab as much revenue as possible.
Pardon?
These are a proposal from your industry like insurance, they propose 0%, and are you proposing for the government that 0% GST should be there for real estate also?
So we take that question after the discussion.
No, I will repeat the question. So,
I'll answer it. We are not proposing zero tax for construction industry. We are saying we will pay GST, but please reduce the tax because we are not getting any input credit. I'm telling you. एक मिनट सर, अगर रियल एस्टेट का हटा देंगे ना, पिछले महीने में 2,45,000 crores is the GST collection. It will go down to 1,50,000. 2,50,000 करोड़ आने के बाद भी आप हर कंस्ट्रक्शन मटेरियल में 5 से 18% के बीच में है. हम यही को पूछ रहे हैं कि 18% का जो है उसको नीचे लाओ. आपका टारगेट था 1 लाख करोड़ महीने का. 1 लाख करोड़ का 2.5 लाख करोड़ हो गया. अभी तो थोड़ा नीचे लाओ. और एक सर, सॉरी आई एम टेकिंग दिस गाय. रेंटल में व्हाट इज द सर्विस गवर्नमेंट इज गिविंग? ही इज कंस्ट्रक्टिंग द बिल्डिंग एंड यू आर टेकिंग ऑन लीज. Why should government come in between and take 18% of rental? See, these are certain things where the government has to come now. Yes, when it was required, industry supported. Now at least this juncture, ठीक है, आप कितना भी बढ़ाते गए तो it is difficult for people to pay. So at least these things have to be done. Zero tax तो नहीं पूछ सकते. We are ready to pay. We want our country to be developed and we wanted to see bullet train in front of us. All those things we understand. But we should reduce the burden on the purchaser. Thank you. आप जो बोले थे रोटी कपड़ा मकान, अभी रोटी कपड़ा के लिए तो कोई कुछ तकलीफ नहीं है. मकान के लिए भी तकलीफ कम करने के लिए गवर्नमेंट ये थोड़ा कम करना चाहिए. Thank you.
Great sir. Thank you so much. I think we'll just go with one final question and that's to Vivekananda Garu. So what would be one legal reform you might want to suggest where you're really struggling now? Sir, please answer in 1 minute.
That's too big a question to be answered.
No, only one reform.
Yeah. So the one reform that comes straight to mind is
reduce the rates.
that's the resolution of the conflict. So the only one reform that comes straight to mind is, ease of resolution. See, if the industry faces a problem, there should be a one window mechanism or some authority to which all the traders or the stakeholders can go to and then address them, appraise them of their problems, and then there should be some definite outcome from such an exercise. Like the elder members of the panel have put it, They are going around the offices, and then the officers themselves are under pressure because they don't have the power to decide. Even if they suggest, those officers may land up in places where they don't want to be. So they have their own pressures of career and growth. That's what I was telling Mr. Dominic just now. The Officers Act, it's a common parlance, common knowledge. Everybody knows that even officers have targets set. They have to do it. Now, one of my friends was saying that this is the revenue that I generated. He has to do that. As simple as a traffic constable standing on the road saying that I have generated so much revenue for the government through challans. And more of them are now photographers rather than being constables. That's a different thing. So also that affliction, every department suffers. So the only way forward I see is, instead of the courts is one thing, courts and establishing statutory mechanisms is one thing. But as an industry, if the industry can go and represent to an authority, a one-window system where all the stakeholders are equally responsible and equally represented, and out of that exercise, if some decision can be culled out, which everybody in a broader perspective agrees to abide by, then that will go